James Holmes once said, and I quote, "The art of communication is the language of leadership." Good morning, everyone, esteemed dignitaries, professors, and fellow students. We appreciate your patience and thank you for joining us today. I, Maria Patil, a fourth-year student of BBA LLB, on behalf of CMI University School of Legal Studies, welcome you all to yet another engaging session on leadership and communication. Today, we gather together here to delve into the significance of leadership and communication, the two beautiful qualities that shape not only individuals but also organizations and societies. Building these traits is the path to personal and professional development. We are honored to have with us today Mr. A.P. Parigi, a mentor, leadership coach, and business strategy specialist who has excelled in an array of fields and been a titan of the industry. Music is the language of the spirit. It opens the secret of life, bringing peace and abolishing strife. I now invite Ghana, a second-year student of BA LLB, to render the invocation song. Check. Media and entertainment. He is acknowledged by his peers and his competitors as a thought leader in the telecom, media and entertainment sectors. He is a senior member of the Indian corporate fraternity and has been an active member of trade bodies like the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry and the Confederation of Indian Industry. Mr. Parigi holds a Bachelor's Honours degree in Economics from Huntsmarsh College, a Master's in Sociology from the Delhi School of Economics, and an MBA from the Faculty of Management, University of Delhi. He was an advisor to the New Enterprise Associates India, a global venture capital firm and an affiliate of the ENIL USA. Prior to this, he had served as the managing director and CEO of Radio Mirchi. Mr. Parigi has also served on several boards of the Times Group, including the Bennett Coleman Company Limited, that is the Times of India, the Times Global Broadcasting Ltd, and Times Innovative Media Ltd. Prior to joining the Times Group, he was the CEO of BPL Mobile Communications. In April 2009, he received the William F. Glacier Rensselaer's Entrepreneur of the Year Award, possibly the first ever non-American to receive the award. He was also honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award by the World Brand Congress in 2009. Mr. Parigi has also been a member of the Business Advisory Council of the said Business School, Oxford University, and has also served as a member of the Board of Overseers for the University, New York. As a thought leader, he was addressed several global forums, including the London Business School, UK, the INSEAD, as well as the PwC World Leaders HR Conference. Parigi was also the executive producer of films, including a cult movie that is Being Cyrus in English language, produced by the Mirchi Movies. Since 2009, he has been devoting significant time in mentorship of startups, their leadership teams across a spectrum of sectors, including artificial intelligence, VR technologies, and digital technologies. It is indeed an honor to have you, sir. I welcome you once again to share your wealth of insight. The dice is yours.
Good morning, friends. I want to thank Professor Subramaniam. You can hear me there? Subramaniam, sorry, for this great invitation. I always look forward to an opportunity to engage with future leaders. And this is a passion of mine. And even at midnight, if you wake me up and say, Mr. Parigi, you can come and have a cup of tea, or play cricket, or basketball with a group of young people, Professor Subramaniam, I will get up and run to the playfield. That's the reason I'm here. I would like to apologize for coming late. Sorry about it. It's a long story, but Nirmala will explain some other time why I lost 35 minutes on the this one-way bridge right here. So can you hear me around? Yes. You're comfortable? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's really great. Let's do something. Let me first confess about all my failures. That will take you one full day. My achievements will take you only 10 minutes. Okay? So, one of the problems I have is I'm nervous while I deliver lectures. So what's the way out in communication? The way out is to engage with the audience. It is necessary to understand who is the audience. Otherwise, I can come, deliver a speech or a lecture and walk away. And half the people sitting there, and all my life I used to sit at the back of the class, wonder what he said, why was he invited, what did she say, and why did she go away? Right? So I would love to get into a conversation before I get into a deep dive into my slides. I have totally 6 or 7 slides, okay? One or two are heavily loaded. Rest of the slides are quite light. And we'll walk you through each slide one by one. And hopefully, I could achieve my objective of being with you today. Now, what is the objective of this session, this conversation with you? I woke up at 6 in the morning and said, why am I delivering this talk? Today's conversation, you can hear me there? Today's conversation has just one single objective. What does it have?
One single objective.
Super. I want to emphasize the need for creative thinking. Emphasize the need for each one of us to be aware and practice, consider creative thinking, because this is the need of the hour. Why is it the need of the hour? Chat GPT, AI tools, right? You want to go on a date? What's it called? Tinder, is it? You're all smiling. Put up your hands, those who don't know Tinder. I think the dean is sitting here, so they're a bit nervous. Professor Subramanian, Tinder is one of the world's most popular dating apps. How many of you here do not use WhatsApp? Put your hands up. All of you use WhatsApp? Oh, wonderful guys, wonderful, wonderful. So the objective is to emphasize something that all of you already know. What is that? The need of the hour. The next hour, for the next 10 years, is creative thinking. And the reason is there are too many changes happening around us. So if we are not going to use our innovation, our creativity, we will not be able to achieve and drive what we call global change. Right? And on the way in the car, when I was going through your website, I was pleasantly surprised that the vision of the university, I didn't realize, is to nurture, I believe, creative thinking. I don't know how many of you have read your vision, doesn't matter. And given the changes to taking place globally, that's your, have I got it right? I just read it in the car and I was just making my notes. So let's have a conversation for 5 or 7 minutes. Please be relaxed, okay? I'm the one who should be nervous. You don't have to be nervous, okay? I'm going to ask a question, and looking at this lovely young ladies and girls sitting there, we will be gender balanced, okay? So when I ask a question, I would need an answer from one lady and one gent, one boy and one girl. Why did you take up law? Go ahead. Go ahead. We can't hear you, I can. Go ahead. Why did you take law? Why not the big law? Why not DBA? So what do you think law do for you if you finish your law? You want to be a lawyer? Put your hands together. She wants to be a lawyer. Right there. Why did you take up law? Louder, sir. Louder. Just take a shot. So why did you take up law? Louder. You want to be a lawyer. So you take up law because you want to be a lawyer. And you do medicine because you want to be a doctor. So any other reason? You're interested. Okay? Put your hands together. See, the reason I asked this question, particularly to those who have just completed their class 12, because we want to nurture creative thinking. So we start with thinking and then look at how creative our thinking is. Is that correct? How many of you finished class 12 this year or last year? Put your hands. Okay, put your hands down. How many of you did your class 12 last year? 1, 2, super. So I'm now talking to an age group of what? 18, 19 years old? Anybody over 18? 3, 4. Anybody over 19? 1, 2, 3. Anyone over 20? Super. Put your hands together. He is the youngest, 20 years old. Thank you. See, the question is that when we do something, we have to ask ourselves, why? Why is it I want to be a debater? When you answer the question, why, the easiest thing in life is how to do it. But we need to be clear about why are we doing something. Are you with me? Am I too fast? Okay, it's cool. So why is very important. When I use the word leader, which I will, what comes to your mind? Please, kindly listen. When I say leader, what comes to your mind?
Someone who leads a pack of people or group of people towards a particular aim or goal, towards attaining that.
Attaining it. That's wonderful. Back row. That used to be my favorite. Anyone from the boys would like to say, what comes to your mind when you say leader? Any one of you put up your hand. Boys, otherwise you get a -5. You want to speak in Hindi, Kannada, no problem. So, I'm learning Kannada, I can understand. When I say leader, what comes to your mind? Boys, come on. The girls have answered. Come, right. A person who? Yeah, but yeah, you can be any leader in one. You can talk. Huh? Yes, yes. Huh? Mahatma Gandhi, put your hands together. That's a brilliant. Wonderful. Okay, so let's try and do something even easier. How many of you do cricket? How many of you watch cricket? Put your hands up. Super. Okay. Will India win the World Cup? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why? Why would India win the World Cup? Who would like to answer why? Come on, guys, boys, put up your hands. Why do you think India will win the World Cup? Think. India will win the World Cup. Come on, quick, don't worry, won't be shy. 3, 4 of you will come in here, there's enough space. 3 of you. Yes, come. This is a little speech, welcome here. Yellow shack. Why do you think we will go on up? Who wants to answer? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry?
It's a top team in all formats. Like
Yeah, why don't you tell them?
It's a top team in all formats like ODI, T20 and Test.
You understood what he said? What did he say? It's the top team in all formats. 5-day cricket, 3-day cricket, 2-day cricket, half-day cricket, all cricket, right? Thank you very much. Now here is a question. I first want the boys in the audience to answer. These are only 5 slides, we can finish it like that. Do women make better leaders? Think, half a minute, time starts now. Do women make better leaders? We need 2 boys to first answer and then 2 girls. Is that a deal? Then you will get 1,500 rupees worth of free Amazon vouchers. Yes, seriously. Do women make better leaders? 2 volunteers from the boys. Come on, boys. What the hell are you guys doing? Boys, wake up. Yeah. Do women make better leaders? Yes or no?
Certainly yes, as much as men do.
Certainly yes, as much as men do. Are you dating or are you married? You're not married, right? So are you dating? No, you're not dating. Put your hands together. Now, that that's what we call a diplomatic answer, right? Idhar ka nahi, udhar ka nahi, right? Baat ka nahi, theek hai? Wonderful, wonderful. If you are a resident of Bangalore, if you are, and somebody comes visiting as a tourist to Bangalore, what is the big challenge you think they will face? Very well, very happy. Have you noticed? Traffic. What is your source of information? What is your source of information? Huh? Personal experience. Anybody else? Google. Somebody said Google? Yes or no? Yes. Be honest. How many of you go to Google for information? Put your hands up. Be honest. Unfortunately, I don't work in Google, otherwise I've got a promotion for this club. Thank you very much. How many of you get information from a global university? What is the university called? Global. And what's the name of the university? WhatsApp. How many of you get information on WhatsApp? Put your hands together. No, surprising. Rest of you don't use WhatsApp. Okay, how many of you use WhatsApp? Put your hands up. This is interesting. But you don't get information on WhatsApp. You get forwards. Yes, see, everybody saying yes. Yes, very good. Sabash. Very good. Well done. Which is the most popular recent? You guys see Hindi movies?
Yes, sir.
Which do you think, in your opinion, the most fantastic recent Hindi movie you have seen? Who is the heroine of Jawan? Wow. Who's the hero? How many of you like or love Shah Rukh Khan? Put your hands up. Wow, when I meet him, I'll tell him that 100%. But I need your selfies that I can give it to Shah Rukh the next time I meet him. I used to work on projects with Shah Rukh, okay? I can tell him he'll feel very flattered. When did you see the last movie on an OTT platform? You know an OTT platform? So, do you guys spend time on OTT? So, which one? Netflix, Amazon, which one? Which one? Netflix. So, which is the last movie which you loved on Netflix? Any idea? Which one? Go ahead. Wow. So, thank you very much. Professor Subramania will be shocked. I have finished my session. I'm going to have a coffee. That is joking. In communication, you have to learn the art of breaking ice to get to know your audience. Normally, people with my gray hair believe they know much more than you. It used to be true when I was your age. But today, with the kind of technology and devices, many of you or some of you may know more about ChatGPT than I would. And many teachers and professors would accept it, but they can read out. With ChatGPT, they can also formulate an essay very easily or write a poem. Okay? So, I just thought, this is called in communication, what do we call it that I did in the last 10-15 minutes? Icebreaker. What's it called? Icebreaker. So, one of the first things in communication Otherwise, you jump into something and take off, give them what Vivekananda said, what Mahatma Gandhi said are relevant. But then they're wondering why they can't see it on the net. Okay, now we'll get down to serious business. Okay? Otherwise, my coffee will not come. Alright? Alright, we'll go on to the next. See, this is on leadership and communication. The first 3 slides, totally 5 or 6 slides. Okay? The first 3 slides are called foundation blocks in communication. Right? And when we have parents, there's a word psychologists use called helicopter parenting. You know helicopter parenting? The mother, father, like my life, so busy we don't know which school my son goes to, what he does. I come rushing to Subramania for admission, but when there's a parent-teacher meeting, I will never learn. Is that true? Yes? But for admissions, I'll run, right? That's our behavior, right? And then we say the faculty is no good, this is no good, that's no good. But for admission, I'll come and see you 5 times. Is that true, sir? Now comes the first 3 slides is called, we set the context before we jump into leadership, before we jump into communication and throw theories at you. All these theories, friends, are available on the internet. That's why I'm nervous. Yes? So what do we do in communication? I will now try my very best to share with you what is not on the internet. Can you repeat that? That is important. Otherwise, today Ratan Tata, whom I respect a lot, happen to know him well, he's available on YouTube. So is our revered Professor Narayan Murthy, Mr. Narayan Murthy. So what has happened as faculty must realize, today they are high exposure. Anyone can go to YouTube, is that correct? Download anyone. Yes, I would prefer Shah Rukh Khan, if you don't mind, while downloading. Because after Pathan, I want Jawan. After Jawan, I want Jawan number 2, right? Yes? Any takers for Alia Bhatt here? Only 1? Wow. 4, 5. Okay. Super. See the relevance and context. The relevance and context. Yeah. We can go on to the next slide. You got the next one. Yeah. Someone in the last, can you read it? From the last. Can you stand up and read what's written here? Quick. Anybody? Can you read it? Just read what's on the slide. Hello? Can anybody read the slide from behind? No? Can you read the slide? Yes. Can you read it for me? Read it. Go ahead. Thank you very much. You see, India is no more a kind of a closed economy. You all agree that we are emerging as a global power, right? So today when you travel abroad, you are at a show your passport at Thailand, Singapore, Dubai, London. They say, wow, you're an Indian passport holder. Today we are emerging as a global power. Then what is the relevance of 2023 and 2030? Have you heard the word per capita income, anybody? Yes. Wow. You heard the name per capita income. In 1991, it is the income of India divided by the population. Simple. I mean, there are other things, but you understand, right? In 1991, the per capita income of India was 300 US dollars. How many dollars?
300.
That means total income divided by population. What do you think is a per capita income in 2023? It is $2,300. Right? Published figures by all global authorities. What do you think is the projected 2047 per capita income? Just give a number, don't worry. You'll get one voucher of Amazon.
1,200.
So
1,200.
15,000 euros.
Very close. Put your hands together. It's $10,000. Very well done. 10,000. It is projected in 2047, India should get about $10,000. Now it's a projection, right? What is our reference to global? Why should you and I talk about world relevance in the world? Here it is. What has happened in the last 10 years? You heard the word climate change? You heard the word climate change? Very good. So climate change was never discussed, Professor, even when I was in college. This is 100 years ago. So, whether it is climate change, whether it is per capita income, whether it is Chandrayaan 3, Chandrayaan 4, India has changed and it has culminated in becoming a global power in the last 10 to 15 years. The whole world is taking note of India's excellence. Okay? How does it affect the student of law, those who want to be lawyers? By the time you are, I think it's a 5-year program.
Yes.
So let's say you attend all your classes, appear for your exams. If you're 20, you'll be a lawyer at 25. Can you practice at 25? Mr. May and me. So he can practice at 25, and some of you can practice at 24, and 1 or 2 of you can practice at 23. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How will India look at that time? Yes, your syllabus I saw in the morning, I think as constitutional law and commercial law. Did I read it right? Yes. Constitutional law and commercial law. Right? That's what your brochure and website. It's going to get more complicated. So please listen carefully. It's going to get complex. It is going to get difficult. It is predicted that subjects that will come up for law firms in several global forecasts, particularly in Asia and India, is one is going to be law concerning cyber security. Cyber security. You heard the name? Cyber security also means data protection. Look at the opportunities. In 5 years, it's going to be international law, data protection, cyber security. The other thing that's going to happen in India that has not happened before. Are you guys listening? What has not happened before is that there's going to be a lot of law relating to intellectual property. What property? Intellectual property. So if there's a song in Jawan and you borrow that song, change the lyrics and the tune, and say, "In Manu sir, by Kannada is okay," at the wedding you play, they will sue you. Are you with me? Now what happens? You play any song in any public meeting without license. Is that correct? That's called property. The property of Jawan belongs to Atlee and that directors and others. So you as lawyers will have enough to do because this is going to hit most of the court. So you've got cyber security. Second, Intellectual property. What's the third? Which is going to be, Professor, I think the most complicated thing even for you and me to handle. It's going to be Chat GPT. It is going to be what? What does Chat GPT do? Before I tell you about leadership, communication, you're lawyers. What does Chat GPT do? If you want to know how many people go to cafe coffee day in Banaswadi, you do what they call market survey. Am I correct? How many people like Hindi films, Kannada films, are what survey? What is the sample size? 500, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. Do you know the sample size for Chat GPT, any of you? Take a guess. What is this? You know the sample size for Chat GPT? It is in millions. Put your hands together. Now the question is, what does Chat GPT do? Professor Subramania in Bahrain had written a paper on international law. When you say international law, Middle East, it will pick up Professor Subramania's paper, but it won't give you a name. So whose property is it? I've been working for the Times of India for years. Now I'm retired. I've retired 3 times. But the question is, what is Google doing? So what does the European Union, how do all the European countries do? They send a legal notice to Google saying the content belongs to The Guardian, Deccan Herald, Times of India, Film Fair, and you are just putting it out there. So should you pay for it? So lawyers feel it. And these are civil cases, not necessarily criminal. Intellectual property has a little bit of a criminality in it. I take the law when I used to be in the courts. But this is something you guys should know. By the time it's 25, cyber security, data protection, intellectual property, Chat GPT violation. Let's see. So when you and I started college, we didn't have this complexity. Major complexity I had, I don't know about Professor Subramania, is being married to the same lady for 50 years. It's also a management challenge. Law can't help this. Right? If you're married to the same lady for 50 years, even law can't help you. Right? I was just joking. So now the question is, why is it that we have a relevance? You should know, why is it you want to do law? What will be the job opportunities? What will be the litigation? What will be the safety guidance? What are the compliance rules in law in 5 years will drastically change in this country? You guys agree? The Chat GPT, I'm going to adopt this guy. The Chat GPT market is projected to be, just take a number, in the world. One number. We'll get 2 vouchers. Yeah. A little off mark for once, but $1.3 trillion is the AI Chat GPT market size. And bulk of it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is India and China. Because the maximum surfers. Sometimes they look at Alia Bhatt, sometimes suddenly they look at IP and then they look at criminal law. Again, go and see MS Dhoni. My God, who's your favorite cricketer? Huh? I couldn't hear you. Virat Kohli. Bangalore guys, RCB. That's where the bias is. You want to know my favorite cricketer? But you won't tell him? Secret? MS Dhoni. How many of you like MS Dhoni? Put your hands up. Is this simulated or you want that? The natural. Okay, guys, give a hand together, put your hands together. That's a wonderful answer because when we talk about leadership, I will talk about leadership styles. Okay? Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, everyone has a style of leadership. They all play the same games. They all follow the same rules. However, how many can hit a helicopter shot? Tell me. Dhoni. How many can run between the crease, both the wickets in half a second? The styles are different. The task, the goals are the same, to win. So now, this is the context. Let's move on to the next slide. Next one. Am I too fast?
No, sir.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. What is this? You're saying, Parigi sahab, all that is fine, your gyan is great. What about a future man? Future on Tinder, future on WhatsApp, future on dating, future on movies. So let's see, how do you chart your future? My friend here at 25 is going to be a lawyer. Some of you at the age of 24, 23. Anybody going to be a lawyer at 22? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not bad. Imagine you become a lawyer in 5 years' time at the 22, 23. Now if you go to ChatGPT or you go to the internet, you will have any number of commentaries on the word leadership. And you now as I'm talking, there are a lot of things. There's a communication, you get it. So Professor, I had two options. One is to download ChatGPT and give it to you, which I think would be unfair. So what's the option? My option is, the next 3 slides are based on my 45 years of having set up Times Now television channel, Radio Mirchi, right? And why you can't set up a company? Why a guy like me, who is remembered in Delhi, a guy like me who is remembered in my school. Why do you remember a guy after 40, 50 years? Either he was a good cricketer or he was a top debater. I am remembered in my school in the 1960s in Delhi, in the alumni meet. You understand the word alumni? Parigi is the only one in the school who did not qualify for IIT. Sad, right? I was not sad, my parents were sad. Not my problem. So you get remembered in life, Professor, either because you're a topper or you're the black sheep who didn't make the grade. That's what life is all about as you guys grow up. If you tell me, what is the one thing that changed my life and continues to change my life? Any guesses? That one thing that happened to me over the years that changed my life. I was very, very fortunate at a young age of 14 and 15 to get mentors. To get guidance. And when you look at mentorship, all of you will believe that a mentor has to be much older than you, maybe much more gray hair than I have. Don't make that mistake. A second-year student or a fourth-year student in BSc, BCom, on your campus can be your mentor. Will you repeat that? What is the meaning? The meaning is, don't go for gender, don't go for age. Don't go for gender. leaders. When we discuss leadership styles, the top 5 or 10 global companies are run by women from India. The Chandrayaan project is designed and lead managed by women. The vaccine discovery, somebody got the Nobel Prize, right, recently, for vaccine, I think 2 days back. How many women do you think were in the laboratories? 74% of the women, put your hands together, women, were in the laboratory for the vaccine breakthrough for the world. Because the only vaccine, which all of you should know, which is called the foundation block, is for smallpox. So they took it, creative, the university CRM want to nurture creative thinking. No gender bias. How do you get the creative thinking? 74%. Did you know that the majority of the people in ISRO, are not from IITs? What is it telling you? I'm not telling you my knowledge and my data. I'm telling you that there is a Virat Kohli in each one of you. There is a P.T. Usha in each one of you. You don't know it. Yes, you don't know it. There is a Rahul Dravid in many of you. There is a MS Dhoni in many of you. Today, 3 years from now, maybe we will need some time. I tell you, you need to believe in yourself. How many golds did we get in Asia? 17, 18, 20 gold. If you told me that last year, I would say, come on, 20 gold medals, India, you must be joking. India got the maximum gold medals, yes? Yeah. Right? There you are. So the question is that I'm going to share stories based on my life. I don't write biographies, autobiographies. I refuse to publish books for several reasons. But what did I say? That one factor, if I'm standing here today before you, as a co-founder of Radio Mirchi, which has 63 cities in India. It's in the entire Middle East, Bahrain, Qatar, Dubai. It is in America, in San Francisco, Dallas, New York. My successors helped me build it is because the role of mentorship made a life-changing difference in mine. So my recommendation to all of you is look for mentors. Don't worry about the gender, he or she, girl or boy, lady or gent, doesn't matter. They could be 2 years older, they could be doing in your university campus some other subject. But please look for mentors. You got it? Next one. Yeah, this is a bit complicated, so I go right to the back. Can someone read it from the back, please? The lady back there. Go ahead. Don't fear. Go ahead.
How well you see the challenge.
Anybody can read it? Come, go ahead. Quick.
Its challenge to the 2023 to 2033 is a transformational decade. Capacity and capabilities to remain relevant are changing even more rapidly. Example major shift is happening. Organizations will favor diverse skill sets beyond traditional degrees.
Good.
Time management skills, mental health and well-being, power of thought,
Contemplation.
prayer or meditation.
Thank you very much. Put your hands together for the lady. See, the idea is to tell you young people that I can jump in and give you a theory on leadership. So can many, even half my age. I won't tell you my age. But before we jump in and say, chalo yaar, let's talk leadership, communication, iska formula dena, uska formula dena, you know, in Jawan Kharu did it like that, Mr. Parigi, aap bhi jaldi karo. I can do it. But always in communication, when you want to actually transfer the need to think and provoke yourself after the session to think, you need to engage with the audience. Thinking will never happen. It will just be a passing fad. So what is it we have done? There are several things, okay, because these are my learnings, my life. Maybe I'm now just 74. But what is that success? So if you go to Google or LinkedIn, you'll see managing director, chairman, vice chairman, co-founder, global awards, all that's fine. Ho gaya. But what did I learn? How did I make it there? In my way is I understood time management skills very much from my mentors in my college days. They used some other word, but it was about time management. Okay? Right. Now you will ask, इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है परिगी साहब? You have read about time management. Many of you heard. I'll tell you. I'll tell you a story of Radio Mirchi as we go along. We started Radio Mirchi, and I was given an option to hire people from media. Am I correct? Yes. But by a creative approach to decision making, I told the board of directors, Professor, I will not hire anybody from media. What did I say?
Will not hire from the media.
It's a huge risk, but it's given me phenomenal results. Why? Because when you bring in a younger, fresh team, they don't come with baggage. You give admission, he says, in Christ College, is it Christ College? In Christ College they do this, in St. Joseph they do this, and the person is fully involved in debate in the office, in the teamwork. Yes or no? Or I came from Delhi, Delhi mein nahi hota hai. This happens in Bombay. This is called packaging. So when you talk leadership, there's no question of telling you theory. So I said, what is it I know about radio? You know how much I know about radio when I joined? Can you see this? How much is this?
Zero.
Zero. But when you have faith in yourself, and I came from a very boring background. Very boring background. I happened to set up India's first mobile telephone company. India's first mobile company, a word you guys may have heard, called BPL Mobile Mumbai. BPL is from Bangalore. I happened to be in the first batch of CEOs in the country that set up Telecom. That set up Telecom. But here is the joke that we have among CEOs. There are only 8 CEOs in India. How many?
8.
Why? Government of India said Bangalore doesn't get mobile first. Bombay, all the metros, 4 metros will get mobile. But 2 licenses, Bombay, 2 Delhi, 2 Calcutta, 2 Chennai. So how many CEOs you will have? 8. We did not know what hit us, and I'm being honest. I don't know, it's in public knowledge. We used to have a meeting every 3-4 months called a DOS meeting. Any of you know computers? What is DOS?
Disk operating system.
Disk operating
System.
Disk operating system. But you know why we used to meet every 3 months? We were so we spaced out. We were shocked by the complexity. So we had a secret meeting called Drown Our Sorrows Sunday meeting. Yeah. Drown our sorrows. So Rona, Dona, once in 3 months, we should Why is that? You know why? We used to spend thousands of crores per month. How many crores? No CEO in India ever did it before. Yes, there is an exception. You know what the CEOs who spend thousands of crores per month? Indian Railways, Bharat Heavy Electricals. You heard of it? State Bank of India. They spent thousands. But in the private sector, ma'am, nobody spent thousands of crores per month, no, sir. Not per year. Per month. So we didn't know what hit us actually. The question is, in time management, right? If you don't know yourself, there's no point talking leadership. That's my recommendation. You agree? Communication, ChatGPT. You don't know yourself. So, what is it you should know about yourself? I would say consider time management. How do you allocate time? Many of you have, otherwise you wouldn't have passed your competitive exams clear. How do you allocate time? Time is a resource which is fully under your control. So if you have Radio Mirchi, Radio City, I think there's a Radio City, a big FM, how do we compete? He has money, I have money, they have money. They have a radio job, I have a radio job, they have a radio job. In television, I have an anchor, they have an anchor, they have an anchor. They are a powerful group, we are a powerful group, they are a powerful group. So how do you compete? Tell me. Are you telling me that Hindustan Times or Reliance doesn't have as money as Times of India? You agree? They have. They are bright people. So what do we do? Because of time management, understanding that the only resource I have is 7 days a week, I have to build leaders within Radio Mirchi. Am I saying that others don't build leaders? They do. But in time, if competition were to produce 10 leaders in 1 or 2 years, I would do 20. You agree? What does Virat Kohli do, I say, between the wickets? Tell me, what does Virat Kohli do? Does he do magic? But he's so well exercised that he can bend any limb and pick up the ball at any speed. Yes or no? That's his style of leadership. But so much of effort has gone into come there. So I told my people, because they're non-media, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we have limited money, we're competing in the market. I don't know if you know something about radio. In radio, you pay me nothing. Are you aware of that? In television, you pay your cable wala. In newspaper, you buy your newspaper. What do you do for radio? You don't buy a Maruti car because it's radio. You don't do that, right? You don't buy a phone because you got radio in it. So for me to have millions and millions of listeners in 15 languages is a lot of effort. It's 63 cities and towns in India. It can be Jammu, it can be Shillong, it can be Guwahati, it can be Madurai, it can be Mangaluru, it can be any place. How do we do it? Time management. The other thing about time management is, it's under your control. Why? How many hours you sleep, how many hours you exercise, how many hours you work is in your hands. It's not with the faculty nor with the university. Now the average time, according to surveys, how often do you think you see your mobile? What's your guess in a day? Quick. 140, 150 is the average that a student looks on the mobile. I plead guilty for starting mobile in India, but it's a fact. How many times do professionals working in large companies touch their phone? 450 on a daily average. What can the poor teacher do when you're busy, doing on your mobile all the time? How many hours do you think in a day you spend on mobile? Any idea? Quick. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours on mobile. Either you're texting or you're browsing. Time management It's very, very important. Okay? So manage your time. I request Professor to invite one or two specialists in time management. They can talk to all your 5-year batches because time is a resource. Sir. Time is a resource, that's why we compete. You know, time is a resource. So you need to get faculty who are specialized in time management. It's a subject by itself. The second is mental health and being. Okay? See, mental health and well-being, unfortunately, we all got to learn after COVID. After COVID. The basic thing about mental health and well-being is your foundation, your health has to be in good position. So what is mental health and well-being for students of law, medicine, media, architecture? It's the same. There is a direct relationship, can you repeat that?
Direct relationship.
Between mind and breath. Between?
Mind and breath.
So if you can learn the science of breathing, if you can learn the science of breathing, you will gradually understand how you cannot control it. I am unable to. You can regulate your mind. Are you with me? Because I'm no yogi, right? I can't control my mind. But yes, because of my good mentors, from college days, I could regulate my thought process of my mind. So when you can regulate your thought process and thinking, you can do multi-tasking. And you can do it with a lot of excellence. Are you with me? Yes? You're tired? Should I give you a break? No. Okay. So the question is, when you say mental health and well-being, right? You need to know one thing, that most students who have committed suicide in Qatar were neither told by their faculty nor the students. They committed suicide, 25 suicides this year in Qatar. Are you aware of it? The parents are not stupid. They are not stupid. They are all potential IIT guys. It's called the Qatar factory, right? What went wrong? Many things went wrong. But I'll share with you the research I have done. In school and college, even I, professor, was not told the difference between success and satisfaction. Can you repeat? Even in my college, nobody told. Even my mentors didn't tell. There's something called success. There's something called satisfaction. Anybody who can tell me the difference, raise your hand, and that Amazon voucher 1500 will reach you in 7 days. Come on. 1 minute to think. Think. What is the difference between success and satisfaction? Imagine if this was told to the people in their orientation program in Qatar. And I have to put the voucher back in my pocket. Success is a yardstick that IIT, GP, NET put on you. It is not your yardstick. Success is something that is external to you. But what about satisfaction? Internal. You have to balance success with your satisfaction. But you can do success satisfaction balance only when you get to know yourself well. For that, you should know the fundamentals of time management. You should know something about your mental health and well-being. When I was in Oxford, Professor, I was often told, the faculty would be interested in this anecdote. They would say, Mr. Parigi, in the English accent, you know, in Asia, the parents appear for exams. I said, what? In Asia and India, parents appear for the exam. Did any of you understand? What happened during class 12? Parents are worried, right? Whether you'll make it to the board. This is a phenomenon in Asia, India and China particularly. So in Oxford, they say parents appear for the exam, which is true in our case. Because I ran away from home, but that's a different story for another day. But that's what I'm saying. So the whole thing is mental health and well-being would include your diet, would include your exercise, would include your time on the phone, mobile, and your quality of sleep. Okay? Now comes a very, very tricky subject. What is it called?
Power of thought.
I don't know what it means. I will try. Your mind, now this is my view, right? My learnings in life from my mentors. Your mind is a wireless machine. Your mind is a wireless machine. And when you meet somebody, there are thoughts running past. As I'm talking, some of your thoughts may be wandering, not because you're not fair to me, but the mind has a capacity to wander. Is that correct? Because the mind cannot be orphaned. The mind can never be orphaned. It's a chip code. Something will help. You know how many thoughts go through your mind in a day? 8,500 to 10,000 thoughts go through your mind a day. How do you define a thought? Oh, I left my bike in the non-parking area. Oh, I forgot to bring my mobile phone. If you add up all these scientifically, 8 to 10,000 thoughts are processed by your mind in a day. This is not my data, scientific research. I'm no scientist. Okay? Thoughts travel in all directions. Here is an example. I go and meet the former Chief Justice of India on a platform, and he's going to introduce a very eminent scholar called Professor Subramanian. I listened to him and said, wow. My wife and I said, this is a fantastic on uniform civil code. We exchanged pleasantries, but thoughts have crossed. So one day, I will try and see if I can invite you to talk to my student. Yes or no? I didn't tell you I want to come. You didn't tell me you wanted. It suddenly happened. It's a thought process. Are you with me? Thoughts travel in all directions. We will get somebody who is an authority in thought to explain to them. You see, these are foundation blocks. You don't become a leader like that. You don't become a communication expert. The foundation, Hindi mein kehte hain bunyad, has to be strong. That's what before I dive into the subjects. Have you noticed that when you throw a stone in a pond, have you seen the ripples? Yes, no?
Yes.
They're concentric circles. They're not linear. If you got the science right, they're concentric circles. You can put the stone from a height. Thoughts travel in all directions. Tomorrow somebody will get a Nobel Prize for that, taking from Indian scriptures. That's a different reason. From Indian scripture, somebody in Oxford will get a doctorate on it. I have no problem, but I'm giving you advance notice. The light of a candle. Hello? Light of a candle. It radiates vibrations. Yes? That's how the candle works. Right? You will find that every thought gives rise to a vibration. Don't worry about the science. Somebody else will do it for you. I don't have the time. Thoughts can heal diseases within your body. Yep. I was one day driving in Bombay. I won't give you the details. And I looked up at this big billboard and said, I only wish I could be the group CEO of that company. What did I say? Obviously, I couldn't tell my driver because he'll think I'm on drugs or something, right? My driver was driving and watching this. Within a month, one of India's well-known industrialists calls and says, could you please come over? I got a very large media company. Can you help us during transition for 3 years? It's a thought process. Are you with me? Right? By the time you have MS Dhoni, if you followed him, get on to the thing. He has already won the shot in his mind. He doesn't do it on the pitch. What you see is on the pitch. And how many people have tried helicopter? Quite a few tried, right? Has it worked? I don't know how old you were. 2011, did you watch the match in 2011? No.
Yes.
Yeah. The last stroke was by Dhoni against Sri Lanka, I think, when we won the World Cup. So, mind and thought is very, very powerful. Mind and thought is very powerful. So, you should know that before you want to communicate, become a leader. So, here is the last point on thought. Thoughts can manifest things. That means you can create your gold medal in your mind. It's called visualization. You can. You have to work for it. You can't just dream and go to bed. Thoughts have color. Thoughts have? They have weight. They have form. They have size. And they have a frequency. The faculty are going to call me up because they're going to do research on it. Good luck. Thought could also have fragrance. That's the power of thought. Now we come to contemplation, prayer, and meditation. Contemplation is what we want to do. Should I go on a date? I should not go on a date. Should I ring up my parents? Should I do an additional degree? Should I not do an additional degree? You contemplate all of that. That's one way of getting to know yourself. See the pros and cons. Should I go on a holiday? Should I stay? Should I buy a laptop? All these are contemplations at your mind level. But we have something called prayer. Yes, you all heard the word prayer? You all pray? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is prayer? Prayer is a monologue, one-sided dialogue between you and some force in the universe. What is it? It's a one-sided dialogue between you and the universe, some force. Sometimes a force is called God, maybe. But that's what prayer is all about. But what is meditation then? Meditation is we try our level best. It takes a lot of time to meditate. Meditation is keeping quiet, remaining silent, and trying to make your thoughts single pointed, which is tough. I still haven't succeeded to make it. That is meditation. It's simple. I don't want to quote philosophy. So what did my mentors tell me? They said, Parigi, the day you get to know yourself, there is nothing you cannot achieve. That's what they said. I believe them and I believe myself. So, mentors, again I tell you, are very, very important. Next slide, please. We got 2 more slides and we are through. Wow. You see, when you talk about leadership, it's specific. You have to practice discipline. Without discipline, you just cannot make it. But there are very extreme cases like Elon Musk. Have you heard the name? He sleeps in the factory. Has a bath, wash, and gets back. I'm not saying do that. You can. But nobody ever died of hard work. I can guarantee that. Thank you. Nobody ever died of time management, hard work. Not enough you're doing hard work. You have to manage your time work before you want to be a leader or a communicator. Right? What is it leadership is all about? Excellent communication. You have to persuade and influence somebody. You have to have a clear vision. You have to be effective in decision making. You have to have capacity to make plans. But most important, you need to dream. You need to dream and sell your dream to your team that Kohli does, Sunil Gavaskar does, Tendulkar does, and Shah Rukh Khan does on his sets in every movie. He sells his dream to the other actors on the set if you watch it. That's Shah Rukh Khan for you. I'm not being recorded.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Delete these personal. So, How do you know whether you're a natural leader or you have to learn leadership? You agree some people have a natural leadership. That is true, but let me tell you, bulk of the leaders I have known in my time have those who have practiced leadership skills. They have practiced leadership skills, which is a big global example for somebody whom you and I would have never permitted to head Ukraine, a comedian from the television station. Am I correct? Zelensky is from a television station. It's a fact. And he has turned out to be a great leader. Right? If you do theory of leadership, you will understand situational leader, national situational leadership, but he's a leader. But who would have ever called him to be a leader? Now comes the question, how do you know you have leadership skills? If you follow, you take on more projects as a student, you're a member of the dance society, you're a member of the art society, you're a member of alumni, you're a member of volleyball, member of debating, I would say please take on more projects. Learn to follow people within your peers who are better than you in your field. Next, foresee opportunity and challenge. What you say, be positive. That's what leadership is all about. Right? Aggressive listening. There's a word called listening. And there's an English word called passive listening. It means nothing. Aggressive listening is you're trying to take out the juice from the points being made either in biology or in law or in architecture. You have a problem, you want clarification. That's when you're taking it in. Alright? That's what aggressive listening is about. Networking and mentorship. Please remember, I did not know where I went wrong, that my professor one day would be Prime Minister. I didn't know. We were going to network with him, otherwise at the Delhi School of Economics. You know whom I'm referring to. He became Prime Minister. Then somebody in alumni woke up and said, yeah, wo photo hai. Yeah. We all proudly took a copy of the photo. We never knew he was going to be Prime Minister. But yes, when we go in Dharma from the Delhi School of Economics, we had an appointment. That's networking. Are you with me? Right? You meet an alumni of CRM, working in Infosys, you call and say, I'm from CRM. He'll at least give you 2-3 minutes extra because of the alumni network. Am I correct? Then comes the question about delegate and empower. If you see Dhoni, to my mind, I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with Dhoni, he delegates. Have you observed on TV? Well, they're losing. Have you seen Dhoni lose his temper? Yeah. I know some leaders who show aggression, but not good. What is he called? Captain? Cool. That's a style of leadership. There are leaders like Musk who are aggressive. When he bought Twitter, he took a wash basin, wash basin, and took it to the office. So everybody says, what's the guy doing? You don't have a wash basin. He's crazy. He said, no, I want to filter those who perform in the company. That's what I hear. These are all the nice words. Empathy and emotional intelligence. That you all understand. Hamdardi. You know the word hamdardi? Right? Without empathy and emotional intelligence, you can never succeed. Please remember that. You can never succeed. Unless you are a dictator. In Hindi, we say, jiska danda uska bhai. Whoever has the danda, you own the cow of the buffalo. That's dictatorship. Learn from failure. Own up. I started Radio Mirchi, Bombay. Colossal failure. What was it? Within 1 month, I had only 50,000 people listening. So the board of directors said, Parigi sir, you're bright, you're smart, you're good telecom guy. You spent so much money, 50,000. I said, no, MTV, you heard of MTV? Yes, MTV made 20,000, 35, I got 50. They said, how much money have you invested? I said, crores of rupees. They said, shut it down. What did they say? Shut it down. It's a business decision. I said, no. You know the mistake I made? Myself and my immediate team are from a place called South Bombay. From where?
South Bombay.
In South Bombay, we speak a lot of English and listen to English music. So what did we do on air? We played English songs. And whomever I met at a party, they said, kick ass, yeah, awesome. But some 20,000 people in South Bombay. For radio, we need minimum millions of listeners. So I changed the format to Dil Mange More. I told my radio jobs, whom do you visualize when you're talking? I found a very suited, booted South guy. I put a Govinda thing there. Pink shirt, yellow trousers, red handkerchief, and my God, how many listeners do you think I got in 1 month? 1 million. In 2 months, 2.5. In 4 months, 8 million. 9 million. Because I got my target audience wrong. Own up your failure. Don't go call your CEO and say, yeah, man, you don't understand. You have to take responsibility when there is failure. When there is failure, you have to take the responsibility. That is very critical for leadership. You can't look for somebody and say, he said, I said, Ravi Shastri said, Rahul Dravid said, Arey Babu, you are captain. You say sorry. We all make mistakes. But the thing about learning from failure is, I don't know if you watch television, International Olympics, you got hurdle race. Have you seen the hurdle? You know, many people fall down on the track. 1 or 2 get up, dust their knees and run. They make it to 2nd or 3rd position. That's what you own up your failure and then dust your knuckles, your knees and start running, you'll make it. You see it on television. Just watch any Olympics hurdle match. You'll find 4 say, mar gaya. And in Hindi we are saying, jo dar gaya, wo. That's what life is all about. Just believe in yourself, keep running. Right? So this is a kind of thing I'm trying to tell all of you. Some have a talent to lead and communicate. Is that correct? But you can develop the skill with practice. Are you clear? Right? Next one. Yeah, now we are wrapping up. You know, what are language skills? Nange Kannada Solpa Barte. A median of 3 years. Andre Kannada Nani Mata Dekandre Nange Bhaya. Is that okay? What's so great here? How do you communicate if you don't know the local language? How do you communicate? Are you doing anybody a favor? Then what's communication about? Locally. I go and talk in Oxford English to my driver here in Bangalore. He'll say this man is definitely on drugs. Yes or no? In communication, English and regional languages are important. I would recommend to all of you, please use your university resources to enhance your English language skills. I have respect for Mr. Modi, but before we can be recognized as Vishwa Guru, we have to be a Vishwa Mitra and a Vishwa communicator. Are you with me? Will all of you after this program look for a 6 weeks course on how to speak English? Yes? What's wrong with it? If I, at my age, can learn a little bit of Kannada, was it okay, the Kannada? Maybe the pronunciation is bad, but the idea is to win, the idea is to communicate. This is not on the web. Nobody tells you this on the internet. So communication means, first is your language skills have to be good. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, no problem. But please, for my sake, I would request all of you, Learn the English language. India, first slide, we are going global. We were not that global, sir, 15, 20 years back. Don't expect the foreigners to learn Kannada and negotiate, not possible. So please learn the English language, right? Please, from today, make up your mind, because I know you're Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. Anybody who speaks Telugu here? How many speak Kannada? How many speak Hindi? Wow, very good, friend of people. Super. Anybody from the Northeast here? Northeast. Wow. Which part of Northeast? No, Assam is a big place. Where from Assam? I know. I used to work in Guwahati. So, question is, this is very critical, language skill. But that's not enough. That's not enough. What have you to do? Extended vocabulary. How do you persuade, how do you talk to your team members in the locker room when they have all gone out for a duck? How do you talk? How do you bring them back for the next innings? You understand cricket, when you lose, you go to the locker room, right? How do you bring them back? You tell them you're a set of idiots. Or you talk in Oxford English to find out what happens. You persuade and influence them. And tell them, do what you want on the pitch, I am with you. That's when you own it. Voice modulation. Voice modulation. I'll give you a solution. Voice modulation is very, very important. What's it called? Voice modulation in communication. In Europe, when Swiggy or DHL or Blue Dart are advertised in the morning on the bio clock of the human being, the advertisement is faster during breakfast time. By sunset in radio, we adjust the speed. You're tired, you're driving back. That's how we communicate. How can you have millions of listeners every day, every hour, in 15 languages across India? Not a joke. There is a scientific way of doing it. And that is to do with voice modulation, not only of the radio job. In the morning, you say, good morning, Bangalore, right? Energy level is high. Good morning, Bangalore. You say in the morning, switch it on. And when they're driving home, you keep saying, good evening, good evening, good evening. Right? You talk about somebody's divorce. You talk about somebody's love affair. You talk about something funny in politics. You talk something about the magic lake of Bangalore. What's it called? Bellandur, right? There's a lake in Bangalore, a lake called Bellandur Lake. It creates foam, it creates magic and all that. So, you speak about it, but in a nice way. Humor your audience. So, voice modulation, humor is very important. No fear of being ridiculed. This applies, see the word vocabulary, intertwine. That means if you take a sikka or a coin, one side is leadership, communication is on the other. That's why intertwine. So you roll the coin. One side is louder. Leadership. The other side, communication. So the question is, never have a fear of being ridiculed. In Hindi we say, kuch to log kuch kahenge. I don't know the Kannada equivalent, but I learned. You're always worried what others will say. Log kya kahenge? Even parents say, beta, log kya kahenge? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Do not be under pressure when people tell you. I'm not saying don't respect your parents, but let it not pressurize you, because you guys have come to a great university. The university wants to nurture creative thinking to meet global changes. That's why you're here. You can do law in any university. I'm telling you that, no big deal. However, when you look at all the websites, CRM have deliberately written that to nurture creative thinkers, right? There are so many websites. You won't find the sentence there. You can go to any law school. So what's the product differentiation? It is at least a mission statement of the university, right? Now come to tsunami and social media. Many of you should be careful. Two things. One, you are not able to distinguish between fake and genuine. You agree with me or not? So in all the newspapers, in all television channels, we have a division called fact check. Because as soon as WhatsApp comes, that there's a fire or there's a shootout, it creates more problem. Thanks to my mobile telephony, everybody says, aag lag gaya. 100 people died. By the time that you reach, it's 1,000 people died. By the time my in-laws get it, it's 3,000 who died. So be careful about the tsunami of information and be alert about social media. Participate. But social media says, I would love to buy this laptop, but it's only 2 lakhs. I love to buy this jewelry. I would like to buy for athletics a Nike shoe, but we don't have the money. Yes or no? You say, if I get that shoe, it will be great. This is called fear of missing out. And that is building a lot of pressure on people today, among the young people. Body language is very important. Do you stand like this? Do you stand like this? Do you stand like this? Or you stand like this? Body language. Body language is very, it is this lot of research called non-verbal communication. What's it called? Non-verbal. Body language can make or break your communication. Adapt to the audience, which I tried doing. I don't know if I've been successful, faculty will decide, but you have to adapt to the audience. You can't lagav some speech and go. Tali bajaya, sab log get coffee. Continuous learning. Lawyers and doctors anyway do continuous learning. You can't use one case and finish your 5 years, right? But continuous learning is a must for your generation. Always prepare to face the unexpected during public interface. Now, if you throw a tomato on me, and normally I've got a bag, I'll take it home. Yeah? But if you run away, you've missed an opportunity to reduce your kitchen cost. Yes or no? So the question is, prepare to face the unexpected. Public speaking. Now, here is something all of you should do. I will request the dean. None of you will say, sir, we are not media students. Forget the media guys. I'm a media guy. Forget us. Please read the daily news in Hindi, Kannada, or English in your bathroom or in your bedroom or in privacy. Have you heard me? Yes. Put your damn phone there, mobile phone, record it. Read the Deccan Herald. Borrow the Deccan Herald. Read it. You will look how beautifully you talk. Get to know yourself. We can request the dean to get it done. It costs some 2,000 rupees a day for 50 students. They have to record themselves. There's no point giving them a theory on leadership and communication if you don't create a real world laboratory for them. Pick any subject, talk on it, talk on Dhoni, talk on Jawan, doesn't matter. But please, where Mani said, have a look at your passport size photograph on the video. Those passport size photographs are always a bit serious, right? Am I correct or wrong? So I would say that we will conduct for them an audio-visual training. We are in the month of October. Do it for 1 month regularly. Modulate your voice. Improve your voice. Read from a newspaper. Read without a newspaper. Do what you want, but get yourself recorded. And again, look at yourself March of next year. You will see you'll be making a progress. In the good old days, when Professor Subramania and I went to college and grew up, the top debaters would rehearse in front of a mirror. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan used to Mahatma Gandhi in front of a mirror. They didn't have the mobile and all that stuff. Very, very important if you are really, really serious about the next 2 slides, please, we'll wrap up. So where does one start? So where does one start? There's a lovely word in the Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language which says Sankalpa. Very simple meaning but difficult. I can do it, MS Dhoni. I will do it. I must do it, Virat Kohli. It's not enough if you know how to play cricket. When I keep saying, believe in yourself, say, yeah, Parigi sahab, I'm bored. Kitna baar bol diya aapne believe in yourself. No. I can do it, I will do it, I must do it, is what is determination and willpower. It slowly influences your habit. Now, many of you, I think, are late risers and work whole night, yes or no? But you find it difficult to get up in the morning, right? It's a habit. But once you make up your mind, I may work late till 1 o'clock, but I will get up at 5 o'clock. I can do it, I will do it, I must do it. That's time management. But it comes from you. But simply telling, be yourself, believe in yourself, that everyone will tell you. But this is the way to do it. Willpower and grit. Please be kind to yourself. What did I say? Yeah, one more slide ago before the Q&A. Be kind to yourself. What happens? Sometimes we are our own enemies. We fail at the IIT and then I say it's over. Why? Because my entire batch went into IIT. 19 of them. 20 up here. So I keep telling myself, I'm finito. Mera katham. What did my mentor tell me when I told him, what do I do now? He said, no. There is nothing known as, repeat. End of the road. But there is something called bend in the road. Once you know this, you guys will join the line. You understand what I'm saying? Because you throw up in quota. Why is there suicide? The guy's not been counsel. So he says, my parents have spent money. They are not very rich. I've come to quota. But every time I go to class, the differential calculus problems, my friend from Coimbatore is doing in 5 minutes. I'm taking 20 minutes. I know I won't make it to IIT. Yes or no? But it's not end of the road. It doesn't mean you should work hard. But there's nothing in life known as the end of the road. It is only a bend in the road. Will you remember this? Right? Be kind to yourself. Don't condemn yourself. The worst thing you can do to hurt yourself is to say, I'm useless. I don't know Kannada. I can't play baseball. I can't drive a car. I can never fly a plane. Who is your obstacle? Who is your obstacle? You. You have to get over it. Simply cannot attend a session or a PhD you do in leadership. You will not be a leadership. With all due respect to those who are doing, you don't become a leader. Are you with me? Identify and seek a mentor, irrespective of age or gender. It could be a boy or a girl senior to you by 3 years. I was so happy with a lady who recited a Kannada shloka here. Second year student or something?
It's the second.
Yeah. She has, coming from music, she has the depth of the classical bhavas. You know what I mean? She's able to go down and come up. She's nervous that I was sitting here. So high pitch is called 6. Low pitch in music is called 1. And then 0 and minus 2. Right? So you got yodeling below and you got high. She did very well. But what was distracting her was trying to synchronize the score. Are you with me? Nothing is impossible if you make up your mind. Identify, seek a mentor, reward yourself as you make progress. I'm not permitted to say have a good drink in the evening. Parents may not like it. You can have a Coca-Cola in the evening. But please reward yourself and be happy about what you're doing. Love what you're doing. If you love attending classes, love attending criminal law, constitutional law, automatically there's a chance you'll do extremely well in that subject. But if you're doing it under resistance, that somehow you have to finish 5 years, you're not going to master the subject. Okay? Make this a weekly and a monthly exercise. The guy is cycling without, don't do this on M0. Okay? Or even Banaswadi flyover. Absolute freedom. Why? Because he does the weekly and monthly exercise in the real world. So it's totally free. That's lovely music. Where's that from? Doesn't matter the group's from it. It's good music. It's a reminder saying wrap up. So the last line is persistence and Lagatar, 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 lagam, lagatar. You have to keep doing it. Otherwise, you never arrive. Your cricket team is the best. Mr. Bachchan, Mr. They, for the first 11 movies were flops. 11 or 14 movies in a line, man, were all flops. Where is he today? Persistence and patience. There are certain political parties that had 4 or 2 seats in the parliament. Today they have 300 seats. They didn't give up. This is very important if you want to chart your future. Here is your last slide. Next one, please. Yeah. You know what this is about? Just give me 2 minutes. Look at it. Try and look at that slide. I'll talk to you from the back. I'll tell you what. I don't know how to. Based on my learnings, I would like to tell the faculty. If you take 100 students who do workshops in my years of training, hardly 10 to 20% reach the goal. Are you there? Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Years of experience, wherever I've had workshops, engagement sessions, seminars, they will nod their head, they'll be very polite, and then they'll go. What happens? The starting point is planning to begin, but I haven't started. You say cut on your diet. Nay, I'll cut down on beer 1 month from now. I'll cut down on the number of cigarettes 2 months from now. Many people fall into that trap. I'm telling you now. Even when you learn the English language, you'll say, what is it? I know it. Actually, you don't. Because if I bring you here and ask you to explain 2 slides, you say, what do? How will you go to the court and plead on behalf of your client? I don't know. How will you do it? How will you plead? Second, started but lost momentum. Yeah, last 10 days I should get up at 5 o'clock. After that, I said, yeah, puts me chokers. So another 20% is over. This is what happens in real life. Third, progress. Started well, facing challenges. I've done 4 months of getting up at 5 o'clock. I've done 8 months of building weights, but I'm not getting muscle. What happens? You give up. Finally, the successful people in a crowd of 100 are not more than 8 to 14%. Not because the rest are not good, but they give up on the way. Thank you very much for your patience. I want you to kindly note down the last slide. Can somebody read this out? This is the story of my life. And you can make it if you want to borrow it. You can note it down, or I will send a WhatsApp to your team. What you think, you become. What you think, you become. Thought. What you feel, you attract. So if you're thinking like Devadas, you get other drugs coming to you, right? What you imagine, you create. Not my quote, my philosophy of life from the
Scripture.
scripture. It is in every religion. It's in Islam, it's in Judaism, it's in Buddhism, it's in the Upanishad. It's in every religion. It's in the Quran, it's everywhere. But we just don't care. So, thank you very much. Now the Q&A session, and then before Professor chases me out of the room, last one, Q&A. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the rather engaging and insightful session and for having shared your views. We have the Q&A session now. The attendees can put forth their queries.
Any question, please stand up and ask. Go ahead.
So, which is the one thing which keeps you going on and on, like trying to be the best version of yourself? As you said, you are the only person who can get it by IIT. IIT is really hard. You felt you couldn't get it, but you asked the mentor, the person that you can go through. But like that situation, you have faced hundreds of them. But every time you can't go and ask mentor that same thing. So, how do you go with that? Like, you feel like you can't be the same person as well. Improve yourself. Like, what is the one thing that keeps making you better?
Very good question. The lady is asking, what is it that keeps you going? Once or twice she says you can go to a mentor. Third time, what happens the fourth time? Good question. Often asked in my sessions. Please sit down. When you say that you have faith in yourself, you believe in yourself, right? You don't give up. Yesterday evening, I don't know if you watched television, there's a lady called Riya Chakravarti. Good or bad, got somewhere into the jail in Bombay, Rajput, Sushant thing? Rajput. She was asked this question yesterday, and I'm going to quote her. She says, all of us are vulnerable, but adversity can give us more confidence if you're open to it. But if you're going to sit down and say that this is end of the road and not bend in the road, you can say it's a bend in the road, young lady, all your life. But if you're going to give up, right? So she was asked, what about your dreams? She says, my dream remains. I want to be a top actress in Bollywood. How many weeks has she been in jail? 6 weeks. She's the most media watched person after that guy's suicide. They asked her, do you cry? She said, yes. How often do you cry? Often. Are you scared of going before a camera? She said, no. Will you go tomorrow if somebody gives you a role? She said, I won't. And I have to heal myself. But I have that confidence that I will keep going. You know, there's a philosophical statement, it's a bit heavy for the afternoon or morning. No sunset has ever defied a sunrise. Yes or no? No sunset has ever defied sunrise. Does it partly answer your question? You have to keep going at it. You can't. You will be a different version. Adversity will make you depressed. Your emotions will come up. If you have a good mentor, well and good. But in the early mentorship, and to get good mentors, you'll have the confidence to get up, clean your knuckles and your knees, and continue the race. That's why 2% of the people succeed at the leadership level. 98% appreciate leaders, what you call followers, right? Risk takers, and they are not worried about log kya kahenge. They're not worried about. They'll keep it in. 11 movies flop, and one day you become Amitabh Bachchan. You must be joking, right? You must be joking. Okay? Yeah, next question. Go ahead. Yes, here, there, anywhere. The guy in the yellow t-shirt. Any questions? Cool. Jai Hind. Good luck.
Sadly, we have come to the end of this wonderful session. To speak gratitude is courageous and pleasant, and to enact gratitude is generous and noble. But to live gratitude is to touch heaven. I am thus honored and privileged to be representing CMI University School of Legal Studies and the entire CMI fraternity to extend my gratitude to every individual who contributed in making this mission a success. First, I would like to convey our deep sense of gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. A.P. Parigi. We are truly honored that Sir has taken out time of his busy schedule to grace us with his presence. Your insights and wisdom has served as a great source of encouragement for our future endeavors, Sir. I now extend my heartfelt thanks to our Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramania, whose support, vision, and eye for details have been instrumental in making events like this possible. I would also like to thank our Director, Professor Dr. Vijay Prameshwaran, for his constant guidance and encouragement. I also thank Dr. Suja Bennett, Dean of Academics, CMI University, for gracing the occasion with her presence. A special word of thanks goes out to our faculty coordinator, Ms. Nirmala Harish, whose contributions, commitment, and knowledge and unwavering support has played a significant role in shaping our efforts and making them successful. And finally, to our wonderful audience, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the students. It is your collective participation that has contributed to the success of the event. Quoting Eva Marie Louis, to be an activist is to speak, and to be an advocate is to listen. Society can't move forward without both. Let this be our Bible. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.